Jury selection is expected to begin next week for Army Major Nidal Hasan. He is the former Army psychiatrist facing 13 counts of murder, dozens of counts of attempted murder for the 2009 attack at Fort Hood, Texas. Investigators say Hasan opened fire on fellow soldiers at the base, and more than 3.5 years now after the attack, the case is about to go to trial. One of the victims of that attack is with us this morning. This is Kim Munley. She is our Closer Look interview for this week. We have followed you ever since the recovery began, since that day, Kim. And I guess the first thing I want to ask you is, you've testified at hearings already, but now, 3.5 years later, this thing is about ready to go to trial. What are your thoughts now that the delay is over?
I'm not so sure that the delay is over. When it does start and we go to get testified or get subpoenaed to go up there, then I'll for sure know that it's on track. There's been many stall tactics and he's been successful at doing that. So this one where he's wanting to represent himself may just be another stall tactic. And hopefully the judge will deny any delay of hearing and get on with this, because it's been way too long. Because
you have been prepared for this for quite a while. I know you testified at a prior hearing for against him. Take me back, if you can, what it was like to see him, and then what are you expecting to feel when you go and testify in July?
I don't know how I'm going to feel when I see him again. In the Article 32, it was I was very emotionalist. I thought I was going to have some anger or resentment, but I didn't really have too much, and that kind of worried me. The other victims, however, they showed a lot of anger, which rightfully so. But I'm going to have a little bit of difficulty if he's actually going to represent himself pro se and he's going to cross-examine. That's going to be some issues going on.
Now, you're also involved in the push to get the Fort Hood incident classified as a terror attack and not a workplace shooting. Now, I know we did some stories with you then. Give us an update on where that whole push stands, because I know you've had the backing from several members of North Carolina's delegation, said they would help you. So where does that stand?
We've had bipartisan support. We've wrote members of Congress. Congress has asked the Department of Defense. The Attorney General of the Army just responded, stating that the victims of Fort Hood have not been mistreated and are entitled to all the benefits that any other military member is entitled to, and that is a complete lie, because they have no more benefits as if they sprung their ankle doing a PT run that day on base. And if they were actually given the combat status, then it opens up them to a whole slew of benefits. They get better treatment at the Veterans Administration. They get a disability pay that they don't have to offset by their Army disability.
How often do you think about what happened that day?
There's not a day that goes by that I don't.
Really? It still comes to your mind every day?
Well, in not necessarily a negative way or positive way. Sometimes I'm still thankful to be here, because I shouldn't have survived that day. I went against medical odds, and I'm still here. The negative, thoughts about it is whenever I hear different government officials or us being rejected again to get it reclassified, and the excuses that they give out that we're just having to wait until after trial. So they have a big promise to keep after trial if they do not reclassify it, and they're saying that they're not going to entertain it until after the trial takes place.
I have known you since the day I talked to your dad the day it happened, and we've been to Washington, D.C., and I've done an awful lot of interviews. I must say, though, there's a reserve in your eye today that I haven't seen before, though. There's a different kind of a stern emotion in your eye that I haven't seen. Where did that come from?
I think it tends to be anger. I'm fed up, and I'm tired of seeing the victims being mistreated, and I don't get anything out of it, except for being able to rest peacefully at night if they get reclassified and get the benefits that they deserve. I'm so angry to see the government has lied to us over and over and over again. And to be honest, I can walk up to someone and just start discussing Fort Hood, and they've already forgotten about it. They thought, some people think he was actually killed in the incident. Some people think he was incarcerated already, and nobody understands that has collected over $270,000 sitting in jail.
Right.
While the victims in the military were kicked out and are suffering emotionally and financially and mentally and physically to this day.
I've gotten to know you, and I know you're not going to quit fighting.
No.
Because you haven't stopped, and you've been saying the same thing ever since that came up. So, of course, we will continue to follow the testimony and your testimony down there. But we appreciate you coming in this morning, being a part of today.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. All right, let's get back to you.